what were the circumstances surrounding you getting in Major League uniform for the first time?
Well, let's start with how I found out. I was playing AAA Ottawa at the time. My manager was Mike Ottawa Lynx, absolutely. 1993, and my manager was Mike Quaddy, if you remember that name, managing the big leagues briefly, I think, with the Cubs.
Yeah.
So he was our manager, and Q had me in the minor leagues for a few years. So a lot of us had played for him lots, and he had that reputation. We called it a mood ring. Like, he could be higher than a kite 1 minute, and the next minute he's ready to pound you on about something. So he bounced back and forth. You had to watch your steps around Q. And I wasn't even playing at the time. I was kind of like the backup catcher in Ottawa. In fact, the night I got called up, I'm in the bullpen all night. So I'm in the bullpen, not even playing, catching in the bullpen. I think we lost an extra inning game. So we go in the clubhouse in Ottawa. And if you've ever been, a very large clubhouse, it was great the way they housed us there. My locker is, you come in the clubhouse from the field, the tunnel from the field. My locker is like over there to the left. So I go to my locker, and it's a pretty quiet clubhouse when you lose a game late like that. Mm-hmm. He comes in after, so he had to cross all the way through the players' clubhouse to get to his office. Well, as he's coming through, he's got this scowl on his face, and he looked right at me, and he went like this. And I'm thinking, what did I do? I didn't play. Did I do something wrong in the bullpen, warming up a pitcher or something? Like, what could he possibly be angry with right now? So I slowly walk over. I'm thinking, what could this be? Go into his office, and then right behind me is Gil Heredia, if you remember that name, former big league pitcher. Yeah. So Gil and I are in the office, and now I'm thinking to myself, okay, I've been around a little bit. Gil's been around a little bit. Maybe he's upset about something and wants to talk to the two of us to address with the team. You know, I'm just thinking, what can be wrong here? He lost a tough game. Oh, well. And he sat back, and he put his feet up on the desk, and he said, you guys are going to the big leagues. And it was my first big league call up, right? And I think I looked at him, and I honestly said, like, yeah, right. Like, what's this about almost? And he kind of raised his eyebrows. He said, seriously. And, my body just started tingling, I think, because so A, you play all your career for this moment, but B, it's different if you're playing every day and you're doing well, and hey, maybe something happened, you're going to call in. Yeah, but I wasn't even playing. I think, I was kind of the backup, but at that time, this is 1993. In 1990, Felipe Alou was my manager in West Palm Beach in the Florida State League. So that could have been the best thing that ever happened to me too, because I caught a lot of games that year, and Felipe loved me behind the plate. He always said he was like having a coach back there, and saw a lot of the things that I discussed earlier with Rick Williams. That's why Felipe loved me behind the plate. So that made a great impression on Felipe. Well, he's now the Montreal Expos manager, and he apparently wanted like a third catcher. And I was kind of a third catcher. I didn't hit much. Defense was my thing, but coming in late, National League game, got a pinch run for Darren Fletcher, burn a base runner, put me in catch. So the timing was impeccable. So no sooner do I go out, I tell my wife, we're going to flip in Pittsburgh in the morning. It's unbelievable. So we get an early flight to Pittsburgh. I make my major league debut, I think the next day. And when I got there, guys, of course, I had been in big league camp, so I knew a lot of the players, of course. And they said, like, be ready. Felipe, when he calls somebody up, he usually likes to use them early, whether it's to break the ice or get you in, whatever the case. And so I think it was the next day, but I'm in the bullpen. I get thrown into, it was probably a double switch, but I got thrown into catch in a tie game in the ninth, I think it was. Whoa. We ended up losing the game, unfortunately. Tim Scott was on the mound. I think Jeff Shaw before that. But that's what I remember is, first of all, the call up and all, but then I get there. And I mean, he didn't wait to throw me in a 9-1 game. It was like, so he trusted me. He knew me. He trusted me. He knew that I could do the job behind the plate. And I was comfortable there. That was my strength. When you feel like you're really good at something, then you feel comfortable, obviously. So different story in the batter's box, but I felt good behind the plate. And that's the reason why I got 4 tastes of major league action, right? Is because that's what I could do back there. I felt I could catch with anyone in the league. So that's the way it was with Montreal, and especially with Felipe, because he knew that he could use me late in games and feel comfortable.